Let's go ahead and move into our main event, which is all about The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. So, Mr. Amiga, can you give us an introduction of what fans can expect from this new Zelda game?
このリンクビトインズワールドっていうのは、リンクトゥザバストっていう今から20年以上も前のスーパーネスっていうゲーム機で出されたものですけど、皆さんご存知ですか？
So this is a game that has a lot of relationship with A Link to the Past, a title that was brought out more than 20 years ago on the Super Nintendo. But how many people here have played that? Everyone who's actually played it, if they could just raise their hands.
Well, I feel awkward. I gotta play it now, don't I? Fine. Wouldn't playing this be the same thing? Okay, fair enough.
今はもう 3D のゲームが当たり前のようになってますけど、トップビューで遊ぶゼルダの典型的なタイトルでした。
So, I mean, I don't really have to go into too much detail because you obviously all know it very well, but, it was kind of a classic Zelda top-down, top-view title.
でやっぱりね、ゼルダっていうのは頃に作ったその、ゼルダの遊び方っていうのがベースになって、その後 3D のゼルダ、時のオカリナとかどんどんそういうタイトルに変化していくわけですけど、そのベーシックなものにまた立ち返って、それをまた新しい形で遊んでもらえるようにしたのがこのA Link Between Worlds です。
And I think you could say that the Zelda from that time served as kind of a starting off point, a jumping off point for the 3D Zelda titles that came after it later. So I think now with A Link Between Worlds we've been able to go back to that original starting off point and kind of try and go in a different direction.
いろいろ説明するのもあれなので、実際ここでバージョンをですね、ゲームをですね、デモプレイして。
So, rather than talking about it, or just talking about it, let's actually take a look at some live gameplay.
Enthusiastic, aren't you?
So, the first thing, Kit from Nintendo's playing over there. So the first thing he's doing is going into the Bravia shop where you can rent and buy items. So, tell us about the rental system.
ここ今アイテム、これ多分ゲームの中で使うアイテムすべて最初から揃ってるんです。
So here you have the rental item shop where right from the beginning of the game you're actually able to rent all of the items.
今、ボムをレンタルします。
So as you can see, he just rented some bombs. And now,
アイテムはレンタルしてもいいし、買ってもいいんですけど、買うとすごく高いので、最初はレンタルすることになるんですよ。
Yeah, so you can rent items and buy them, but if you want to buy them, it costs you a lot of money. So you probably start out just renting.
今こうして、ボムとそれから、弓矢ですね。
So now he's got bombs and.
表に出てみましょう。
Let's go outside.
従来のゼルダではですね、例えばボムでこう開けられる、こういう洞窟とかはボムを手に入れてからでなければなかなかアプローチできなかったんで、後半にどうしてもっていうことになったんですけど、今回では自由にそういうものにアプローチする。
So in previous Zelda games, bombs were always something you had to wait a while to get. So those the kind of suspicious-looking bomb walls are things you'd have to wait until a bit later in the game to inspect. But in this game, you'll be able to kind of poke around right away.
ね、ああやって妖精を最初に瓶に入れていくと何かあった時に安心ですよね。
Yeah, and if you're able to get them right away, you'll have an easier time with things later.
What the hell
これ
is
今、
that?
ハイライの世界に開いたゲートからこれ違う世界ローラルの
So as you can see, Link just turned into a painting and used that ability to travel through a little gate into another world called Low World.
この、もう一つの世界っていうのもアリンク・ザ・ハスと、ちょっと似たデザインのところもありますけど、今回は世界としては全く別の世界です。
So this kind of idea, this idea of having another world is also obviously something we had in the Links to the Past, but This time it's not the same dark world, it's actually it's a different
Just makes you want to play the originals.
ローラの世界っていうのはこうやってモンスターたくさんいますけど人も住んでたりします。
So as you can see, Low World has quite a lot of monsters, but mainly it's actually just people living there.
はい、今リンクはですね壁の中に入ってこのキャラクターを手に入れました。
So as you can see, Link just merged into a wall in order to pick up this little collectible character.
これはマイマイといってこれをたくさん集めることで、アイテムの性能をバージョンアップしてる。
It's called a My My, and if you collect lots of them, you'll be able to upgrade your items.
はい、リンクはまた元の世界に戻ってきましたけど、これ誰かの家の中で。
As you can see, Link just came back from the world.
You get in my room.
はい、今ハートになりました。そのゲートっていうのはローラルっていうそのもう一つの世界とそれからハイラルって両方に空いてるんですけどそれぞれが違う場所に空いてるのでローラルでしか行けないところハイラルでしか行けないところを
So you'll find those gates that allow you to travel back and forth both in Low World and High World, but there'll be places that you won't be able to access in High World except for going by Low World and vice versa.
そうですね、下の画面を皆さん見てほしいんですけど、ちょっとマップが表示されてます。でこれタッチすることで拡大することもできて、その拡大した状態でもリンクがどこにいるのか常に表示してくれるので、それを見ながら冒険してください。
So as you can see, if you look on the bottom screen, you have a map, and then by touching it, you can zoom in and always be able to, take a closer look at your surroundings. So I think it'll be very helpful while you're adventuring. Okay.
怪しいところに入りました。
And now we're in this weird cave.
先ほどのマイマイっていうののお母さんですね。
This is the mother of My My.
でこの助けたマイマイを彼女に渡すとですね、バージョンアップしてアイテムを。
So if you bring your My Mi's you collect to mother My My, she will upgrade your weapons for you.
ナイスボール。
So turn into a nice.
何がナイスなのか使ってみないとわからない。
You won't be able to tell what's nice about it until you use it.
Real that what? Awesome.
3本一気に打てますので、当てやすくなります。
Wait, is it holding?
で画面の横のゲージを見てほしいんですけど、今回弓矢は何発撃ってもなくなったりしません。
So if you could just look at the gauge on the left side of the screen there, with the bow this time, whenever you fire arrows, you don't actually have physical arrows, or rather, they don't run out.
リンクが壁になったりする時もそうなんですけど、全てはこのゲージのパワーを使うことで可能になっていて、それがゼロになっちゃうとすぐにはできなくなっちゃうんですが、時間とともに回復します。
Similar to Link's wall merging ability, all of the items just drain that gauge. So when that runs out, you won't be able to use items for a little bit.
はい、ここでちょっとですね、変わったダンジョンに入ってきます。
So let's take a look at a kind of interesting little dungeon.
ここはボスがいるようなダンジョンじゃなくて、宝が眠っているダンジョンなんですが、
So this isn't like a regular big dungeon that has a boss. This is just a smaller place where you can find some treasure.
ここはそのリンクが絵になることで、どんどんその、先ほど言った宝箱にですね、アプローチする、遊びのダンジョン。
So the kind of gimmick here is that you have to use Link's wall merging ability to get up to that treasure.
これ立体視でないとちょっとこのリフトの構造がつかまえにくいんですけども。
So when it's not in 3D, it's actually kind of maybe hard to see how the lifts are moving.
こうやって壁に入って次の段に行ってっていくんですが、それではいけないところもあったりするので、よく考えてまた。
So yeah, you've got to kind of think your way through it and use your wall moving ability to get up on these platforms.
Nice.
過去にあんまり100ルピーっていうのは一度に手に入ることなかったと思うんですけど、今回相手に連絡してもらったりとか、ルピーをたくさん使うので、こういうたくさんルピーをこう集めていくのが重要なゲームになってます。
So I think actually being able to find 100 rupees a lot in Zelda games was kind of a rare thing, but with this one, since you'll have to use so much money when you're renting and buying items, there's actually a lot more rupees to find in a bigger amount.
So as Mr. Underwood was saying, you should really check this game out in 3D. We actually have the game playable in our booth, so after this, you should definitely go play it if you haven't gotten a chance to already. So now that we've taken a look at the game, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the inspiration behind it and also some development stories. If you have any to share.
最初に、このリンク・ビトゥイン・ザ・ワールドっていうのは、リンク・トゥ・ザ・パストの頃の遊びを、今にこう蘇らせるような蘇らせて楽しめるようにしたっていうお話ししたんですけど。
So, as I was saying, something that we try to do with Link Between Worlds is to kind of go back to the original play style of the Link to the Past, that original fun, and bring it back.
実は最初からその続編にするっていうことで開発を進めたものではないんです。
However, it wasn't that we were from the beginning originally thinking of it as being a sequel.
さっきデモプレイでも見ていただいたように、リンクが絵になってこの壁を移動する遊びがまず最初にアイデアとしてあって、これを生かすにはどうすればいいかということで、その続編にしようという。
So I think you saw in the gameplay demo it has this new ability to turn into a painting and merge with the wall. And that was kind of the first idea we had. And then when we were thinking about trying how to build a game around that, we eventually landed on doing a sequel to Link to the Past.
というのはその壁の中に入ると、壁に入ったことを分からせるために横からのビューになるんですけど、普段いつも横からのビューの延長線でその壁に入っても何も驚くことはないんですが、トップビューで続編を進めながらサイドビューになってその壁に入るというところで見えてくるものがまた変わってくる、こういう遊びにするのが一番このゲームにとって一番いいだろうということで、そのベースをですね、そのリンク・トゥ・ザ・パストのトップビューの世界と融合させることがことにしたわけです。
So I think you saw that when the Link merges into the wall, it goes into a side view. But if the whole game was just in the side view and then it stayed in that when he went into the wall, it wouldn't really be as interesting. So that's when we came up with the idea that, well, we could have like the normal view of the game be a top view, and then when he uses that ability, switch into that side view to kind of give it something different, give you a different perspective on the world, and that's what led us to the idea of like kind of using like the Link to the Past world as a base.
ただですね、リンク・トゥ・ザ・パストの世界を、この 3D の世界に置き換えるというのはそんなに簡単なことではなかったんです。
But taking that Link to the Past world and turning it into real 2D was actually not that simple.
これ見ていただくと分かるように、さっきもデモプレイにもちらっと出てたんですけど、リンク・トゥ・ザ・パストの中の東の神殿という場所の、フィールドですね。
So I think if you take a look at this, you can tell what it is, but it's the original bitmap, the original image from Link to the Past of the Eastern Palace, which is actually where we just were in the game demo.
当時は 2D ですから当然これは立体構造になってなくて、あれは全部見せかけの立体的な絵なんです。
So obviously it's a 2D image. It's not really rendered in 3D, but it's drawn so that it looks like it's 3D.
でこれを 3D にしなきゃいけないわけですけれども、なかなか当時、まだ開発が最初の頃だったのでデザイナーもいなくてですね、誰もそれを実現してくれなかったので、しょうがないので僕が自分で作ってみました。
So obviously one of the first things we had to try doing was to take this and turn it into actual 3D, but this was very, very early on in the development, and there weren't any designers yet on the team. So since there's no one else to do it, I just tried to do it myself.
そのモデルが、向かって、どうですか、皆さんから見て右の方
So the 3D model that you created, as you can see, is the one there on the right.
これほぼ同じに見えますよね。
I think it looks pretty much the same, right?
だからどこが立体になってるのかでほとんどよくわかんないと思いますけど。
And I think by looking at it like this, it's probably kind of hard to tell that it's actually in 3D now.
ちょっと寝かしてみましょ
So
う。
let's
は
kind of change the angle.
い。ね、ちゃんと立体的になってますよね。
So as you can see, it's actually in 3D.
ただですね、これもう少しまた回転させるとわかるんですが、
So but there's something else you'll see if we rotate it a little bit more.
2D で立体的に見せるために手前の傾きと奥の傾きっていうのは絵的にこう書いてあったんですよね。
So in order to make a 2D image kind of look 3D, we kind of had to show either a little bit more of the front of something or a little bit more of the back.
だからそれを 3D にするとやっぱり手前の傾きが強いこう立体物になるわけです。
But when you actually make that into real 3D, that becomes kind of exaggerated, and as you can see, everything's a bit slanted.
でそれが一体どういうことかというと、これ今普通のゲームのその画面ですけど、
So here's the actual game, an image of the actual game.
これもカメラを変えてみます。
But let's take a look at a different angle.
はい、右側ですけど、
So you can see it there on the right.
全部傾いてますよね。
So everything's kind of leaning backward.
ルピーも傾いてるんですけど、
The rupees as well.
普通に今普通に遊んでいただくカメラで見るとこういう形になってるんで、とっても不思議だなと思われると思いますけど、こういうことをたくさんこうつじつま合わせというか、立体の世界の中で合わせていくっていうのは結構なハードルです。
So, I mean, I think it's obviously not something you're going to be able to see in the actual game, but this was the kind of thing that we had to do a lot of in order to try to recreate that original top view in real 3D. That was kind of our first big main hurdle.
発売前にこういう種明かしするっていうのはほぼ今までやったことがないので、皆さん周りの友達とか内緒にしておいてください。
So, I've never really talked about something like this before something goes on sale, so please try to keep it a secret from all your friends.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at some never before seen footage in this new trailer.
I want this game now.
Clearly that you see high roll and the reflection of the water, low roll. So can you tell us a little bit about these two worlds and how it fits into the storyline?
ファンの皆さんは過去からね、ゼルダシリーズで、いわゆる2つの世界、表と裏とかね、光と闇とか、そういうような世界はゲームの中でちょくちょく登場してきました。
I think, as many of you know, the Zelda series has a history of having kind of two worlds appear in a game, a kind of front and back, or a light and dark.
で、アリン・トゥ・ザ・パストの中にもやっぱり、もう一つの世界、これは闇の世界と言われてましたけど、ガノンがいわゆる捉えられてた世界ですが、そういう世界が存在していました。で、今回はですね、実はその世界とはちょっとまた違います。
So, as you probably also know, from Link to the Past, we had the Dark World, which was kind of, where Ganon himself was sealed away. But this time, the other world is actually different.
このイラスト見ていただいても分かるように、お城がありますけれども、ハイラルにもハイラル城があって、ローラルにもローラル城があります。
So, as you can tell from this picture, in Hyrule you have Hyrule Castle, but then in Lorule as well, you have Lorule Castle.
で、そこにはやっぱり、ゼルダ姫と、それからさっきちょっとちらっと名前出てましたけど、ローラル姫と、お姫様が登場します。
So, as there in Hyrule, you have Princess Zelda, and then Lorule has a princess of their own. Her name actually just came up a little while ago. Her name is Hilda.
先ほどの、ムービーでも最後印象的にローラル姫というのをお祈りを捧げてましたけど、2人ともお姫様なんですが、でしかも国を思う気持ちというのはすごく強いお姫様なんですけれども、それぞれは違う境遇を持っていて、この物語の中でその境遇の違いみたいなものが物語の中心になっています。
And you may have seen her there kind of praying at the end of that trailer, but naturally they're both princesses and they both have kingdoms and they're both kind of thinking about their kingdoms, but they also have kind of different desires, different motives, each to their own, and kind of how those interact and perhaps conflict is kind of the way the story develops.
で、この2人の間に入るのが先ほども、なんかこう怪しげな音楽とともに登場したユガというキャラクター。
And you may have seen these kind of suspicious-looking character who came in with that scary music. The same character who goes in the Hyrule called Yuga.
そのデモの中にも、人をこの絵に変えてしまうようなことをやってましたけど、彼がいろいろ暗躍したおかげでこの、ハイラルのゼルダとそれからローダルの、ヒルガが運命的な出会い方をする。
And you may have seen him there turning people into pictures and doing all sorts of wicked things, but the way he interacts with Princess Zelda and then also in Lorule with Princess Hilda basically is what makes the story unfold.
これ以上は年末発売をお楽しみにしてほしいと思います。
But going into the further detail is something I'd like to avoid, and I'd rather you enjoy it for yourself in the game when you get to play it.
Excuse me, are you on the line?
Yeah, I just got that.
Is this mic?
Guys, keep in mind you may not be able to ask a question if the time is limited, so be aware of that.
Gentleman here with the amazing shirt. Yes. Go ahead.
How are you doing today? My main question that I had with how you're rethinking the conventions of Zelda, and going forward with Link Between Worlds, and how you're changing into its play style. How would that go forward in terms of, like, say, the new Zelda for the Wii U? Are you gonna kind of revamp it, or do it in a way where it's gonna be new in terms of like Majora's Mask, where it's like traditional but new at the same time with a different feel? false.
To the first one.
Okay. But I mean, is there anything in particular that you're like going for in terms of like, with the way that you can just purchase items and go into a dungeon and just be like, okay, well I have this item, I can purchase it outright, or you can upgrade it or whatever. Is that going to be something that's going to be the stepping going forward, or is it going to stick to being traditional but do it at the same time, or is it just going to be, you know what I mean? Or no? Okay. Which I know you can't really talk about new Zelda, obviously, but too much.
いろいろこのリンクトゥビトゥインワールドでもそうだし、あとウィンドベーカー1でも新しいことを例えばその Wii U で実現できること、それから 3DS で実現できること、いろいろ新しいことをやってますけど、それらはこれから作る新しいゲームを作るそのベースになるそこで実現していることを先取りみたいな形で 3DS を応用したりとかしてますので、それが最終的にはまた全部融合された形で新しい Wii U のタイトルになるということを言ったらいいと思います。
So I think you can see, kind of the things we're talking about in Link Between Worlds, and then some of the things you saw in Wind Waker HD, where using the capabilities of the Wii U. You can kind of think of like a lot of those ideas as sort of like a base from where we're going to start with creating the new game. So yeah, you can kind of expect to see a lot of new things that you've seen being kind of further refined and developed in the next title.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll take the question on this side over here.
This mic is really low, so I'm not really short. I was wondering if you intend to return to the cel-shaded style of Wind Waker in any future games anytime soon.
そうしてほしいですか
Do you want him to?
Yes, very much.
He'll think about it.
All right, what about you in the Super Mario 3D World amazing years?
I've heard a few reports that you can go through the dungeons in the Link Between Worlds in any order that you want because of the item system. So I was just curious how you can account for like a difficulty curve, seeing that you can go to any dungeon whenever you want.
やっぱりゲームの前半とですね後半の難易度っていうのはもちろん前半はそんなに難しくなくて後半難しくなるっていう状態ですけど、なんていうのか難易度っていうのはその新しいアクションとか新しいそのアイテムでやるいろんなその新しいアクションみたいなものがそのダンジョンで初めて登場するようなものがたくさんフィーチャーされてますから、それに慣れていくまでっていうのはちょっと難易度が高くなったりするんですけど。ですから初めてのものに対しての歯応えみたいなものがそれぞれのダンジョンで別々にあってですね、それを楽しんでもらえるような形になっているということで思ったりします。
I mean, I think generally you could say that the kind of early half of the game and the latter half of the game are going to have a difference in difficulty. It's going to be more difficult as the game progresses. But I think when you think about what it is that makes it difficult when you have new items in a new dungeon, it's kind of more just the idea that you have a new item that you have to get used to. So even though the items are all, with these dungeons too, even though the items are all available at the beginning, there's going to be new and different things in each dungeon that you're going to have to get used to. So in that sense, they're really not that different.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
First off, I want to say that Link Between Worlds looks awesome. My question is kind of shadow dark. I like when Zelda is really gritty and dark. I'm wondering, I know you produced Wind Waker in this new game, but I wonder if you have any information on Majora's Mask at all, because that was my all-time favorite Zelda. Please say the remake is on Wii U.
このね、アリンク・ビトゥイン・ザ・ワールドを遊んでみると何かわかるかもしれないです。
If you play Link Between the Worlds, you may get an answer.
First off, I'd like to say thank you very much for working on such a fantastic series, an important series. And I'm just curious, which of the other worlds outside of Hyrule were influential to making Lorule, and outside of A Link to the Past, which I know was the game that got you into game development, which of your other Zelda games, or any of the Zelda games, did you find the most enjoyable to work on?
「ローラーのデザインっていうのはやっぱり前作のその「アリンク・トゥ・ザ・パスト」の元になっているそのデザインを今に置き換えている。まあもちろんその世界と全く同じではないので新しくクリエイトしていく部分もありますけど、ベースはそこから来ている。
I mean, I think really the base for Lorule is the Link to the Past Dark World. I mean, there's also lots of other new things as well, but that's kind of, you know, the main source there, I suppose. Sorry, what was your second question?
Which of the other games in the series was your favorite to develop for, where you had the most fond memories of developing for?
やっぱりね、開発してる時ってゲーム一つのねタイトルを開発してる時ってもうそのことばっかりいつも考えて僕は生きてます。家に帰って、シャワー浴びててもずっとそのアイデアのことを考えたりしていて、やっぱりそういう生活をしてるとやっぱりどうしてもその時作ってるゼロダが一番好きなわけで、今は、まあ、終わりましたけどそのアリンクというワールドが一番心に残っているタイトルですね。
I mean, you know, when I'm working on Zelda games, I'm kind of thinking about them 24 hours a day nonstop. When I go back to my house, you know, the only thing in my head is the Zelda game I'm working on. So, since that's kind of the way I've always been living, it makes sense that for me that, you know, the one I just worked on or the one I'm working on is always my favorite. So right now I would say it's A Link Between Worlds.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that is all the time we have left for questions. Thank you. So, The Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds comes out in the US on November 22nd. Any final thoughts?
Sir?
今年ね、2つのタイトルを作り終えて今いますけれども、
So, we've already had 2 Zelda titles come out this year.
本当にいつも思うのはウィンドウェーカーの HD もこれを作ることの意味っていうのはやっぱりファンの皆さんがそれを支持してくれることだとやっぱり思っていて、それがあるからいつでも新しいゼルダってものを僕は長く作り続けてられていると思ってます。
And I think, you know, I mean, with the Wind Waker HD as well, but I think the reason, you know, we were able to, you know, put out those 2 Zelda titles this year is because we've had the support of the fans, and with that continuing support, I really look forward to, you know, keeping on making new Zelda titles as well.
で
the audience from here, I think we see some really great Zelda cosplay. So if you are dressed in Zelda cosplay, please come up to the front and we'll take a group photo with Mr. Alvino. If you're wearing a Zelda costume, it doesn't matter which Zelda.
Here, hold the camera. I'll get my camera out. Look, we got a Fred Flintstone over here.
Please be quiet.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
That's so great.
So we'll go ahead and
Terra. It's Terra, not Torah.
No, our friend wanted to What the dangers to go on?
Rocky's fucking down, huh? Oh, Midna. Midna's up there.
The one Zelda.
All right, thank you guys so much for coming. We hope you enjoyed the speaking session on the Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds, and have a great rest of your Comic-Con.
You know that I will save you.